So, yes, you are listening and viewing the Nancoverse podcast. And this is a very special edition of the Nancoverse podcast because Diwali is tomorrow. Yes, Diwali. Dude, if you're from India, if you're from the subcontinent, you pretty much know what Diwali is. It's that time of the year. It's that time of the year when everybody's celebrating, everybody's buying shit that they don't need, everybody's bursting crackers and meeting their friends, getting high, getting drunk, losing their money on bets. Yeah, it's a pretty special time for Indians. Yes. And I actually want to start the podcast with something that I came across on the internet. And this is pretty special because, this is the holiday time and a lot of us, this is the holiday time and a lot of us have gone through a lot of shit this year, 2020 has been quite a weird year for a lot of us, honestly speaking. I mean, for me as well. I mean, I've had worse years. I mean, if I have to look back at 2018 was a shit year for me, dude. Like, सबसे बेकार साल था मेरे लिए जिंदगी का 2018. In fact, 2020 से भी काफी बेकार year रहा है मेरे लिए 2018. 2018 really sucked for me, dude. And if I have to compare that with 2020, I don't think it's as bad. But at the same time, when you think of a time like Diwali, this is November the 13th, by the way, and 14th is when Diwali is. And when you think of a time like Diwali, you think of family, you think of love, all your loved ones, you think of getting back with your friends, you think of forgiveness, you think of cleanliness. But then when you think of all the people who have lost their jobs, all the people who are suffering, who are alone, damn. Actually, there's a research I read on the internet that being alone is worse than smoking a pack of cigarettes or some kind. I mean, I'm butchering it quite a bit, but yeah, being alone is not nice, especially during the holiday season. Especially during these holidays. But anyway, I want to read something I found on the internet, and I just want to dedicate this to everybody who is suffering right now in some way or the other. I mean, we all have our own problems, our own share of troubles and sadness and despise and hatred that keeps coming in from some way, or life gets tough, man. So I'll just cut to the chase and I'll read this for you guys. It says, quote, "Shit, dude. Here's to all the quiet victories. The things that other people take for granted but are so hard for you. The way your voice didn't shake when you ordered your drink. The time you felt a swell of pride at something instead of shame. How you got out of bed after only the second time hitting snooze, even though you couldn't imagine anything more difficult than facing another fucking day. Fucking cherish those. Relish them. Rejoice in them. Do not let anyone pluck them from your grasp because they're yours and they are important." Yes. It's important, all these small victories. This was really powerful, dude. I have goosebumps right now. Like, I can feel my skin just, whenever I read this, like, whenever I have this feeling that someone's like, really being harsh on themselves because they can't express how they feel. You know what I mean? Like, there are people out there who are seemingly have it together. It seems like everything in their lives is fine. They have money, they have a job, everything's going, I mean, from the outside it looks like everything is going well for them. But then when you actually get to talk to those people, you realize, damn, dude, like, this person is going through some shit. Yeah, I mean, I know some people like that. I have people in my life. I mean, fortunately, it's not that bad. I mean, people who have a roof over their heads, who have food to eat, who have a job, who have love interests in their life, who have good friends they can fall back on. I mean, it's not the worst thing to have in your life, but there is still that existential angst that comes with being a human being. Yeah, and this could seem like a sob story, like a really sad start to a podcast, but I really wanted to be open and genuine with all of you today. I want to express my feelings today instead of, showing that everything is fine and I'm happy and life is great, and which it is. I mean, I'm not complaining right now. I just feel like we need more compassion and love for people around us. And I say this because I find myself sometimes being extra aggressive and extra angry on people around me. And that's not nice, dude. I mean, it's not a good feeling when you're being an asshole to the people you love the most. I don't know what is it about human beings. Is it something to do with the way we are? I mean, we can be so good to the people we don't know. Like, if you meet someone at a party and, you start talking to them and you spend like a couple of hours talking to them and, maybe you hook up, or like if it's a guy, I mean, I don't know, man. Depends on however you treat someone you don't know for that long. You treat them really well. But then you treat your own family or your own girlfriend or your own boyfriend or your own dog. Sometimes you treat them in a really shitty way, And this anger, this angst, I don't know where does it come from. I think it's a personality trait that a lot of people have. And I also feel like we hurt the people we love the most. It's a saying. I don't know who said this though, so that's a good question. Who the hell said this? I mean, whoever said this has validated this for so many people, just to be shitty to the people that are around you. And I mean, one thing that I've noticed is that whenever I'm shitty to my close ones is when I haven't had good sleep. Yeah, and I know that sounds counterintuitive because, it could probably be because of some, I don't know, some kind of interaction gone wrong, or somebody took your charger without telling you, or someone didn't pay your money back or some things like that. But then whenever I'm not well rested, or whenever I am sleep deprived, or if I sleep for too long, I have this headache in my head. Like I walk around with this possibility, like an active volcano of sorts. Yeah. Everything just triggers you, like if someone says something to you, you just kind of think like they're trying to trigger you, or this is not coming from a good place, or they don't respect you enough. Why is this person not respecting me? You start expecting a lot from other people, and when they don't really respond the way you want them to respond, it kind of starts to seem like, hey man, I'm not getting respect here, dude. I gotta speak up for myself. And when you do speak up for yourself, sometimes you do become too aggressive. Yeah, I'm just being honest here, listeners. And I think a lot of you guys might even resonate with what I'm trying to say, like, I don't know if you guys want to tell me a little bit about how you get angry on the people who are around you. You can let me know, dude. Just let's be honest. Let's be honest with each other. That's a dying art. Honesty. One of the 7 limbs of yoga talks about yama and niyama. They're like the 2 out of the 7 limbs is yama and niyama. So I want to actually talk about this. Yama and niyama. It's a really crazy concept in yoga. So the yamas and niyamas of life. In the yamas, it talks about, these are basically codes for living your life, and in those codes, comes Satya. It talks about speaking the truth. The truth, man. The truth's a hard pill to swallow. Yeah. Even to yourself, man. I have found myself lying to myself quite a lot. Yeah. I mean, I will lie to myself about things like, if I like someone, if I like someone, I'll tell myself I like them, but deep down I know that I don't like that person, and I'd be much better off not having them in my life. But I tell myself that, yeah, dude, that's the real deal, dude. That person's like Mick Jagger, man. You wanna have them in your lives, bro. This is like, yeah, adventure, crazy people. You start to tell yourself that those people are very good for you and stuff, or maybe they're not that bad, Yeah, I lie about that to myself. I also sometimes, I find myself lying about how disciplined I am, I like to think that I'm very disciplined, but there are times when I do not do the things that I know I should be doing. Yeah, that's an annoying feeling, when you start to feel like a fake in your own eyes because you're lying to yourself. And as long as the lie is going on, like internally I'm telling myself, yeah, dude, I worked for 4 hours today. Even though those 4 hours were like, I don't know, man, just half an hour of work and the rest was spent on YouTube. Yeah, or, if I had to work on a project, I'll tell myself, yes, I'm gonna work for 2 hours today. And I sit down and 2 hours pass by and I realize that I haven't gotten much done, but I still tell myself that, you spent those 2 hours, so you're good. Yeah. Lying is a weird space to be in, man, mentally. I mean, if you're lying to other people about your life, I don't know how many people who are listening to this might, relate to what I'm going to say. But then, have you ever realized that whenever you lie to some person, you tell them something that's not true? Say you're out on a date with a girl or a boy, and you're sitting and you tell them something that's fake. You know what I mean? Like you tell them that your grandparents were from Europe. I've done that. Yeah, or you tell them something about your job. Say you tell them that you make an XYZ amount of money, but you actually make much lesser than that. Every time I've lied to somebody about something, I've started to feel like some of them completely disconnect. They disconnect with you. There is that sense of connection, that possibility of actually making a friend or having a partner or just being able to connect with somebody just goes out the door like an excited dog, horny one. Yeah, it just goes out the door, swoosh, it's gone. And then you kind of then there are some people who then lie themselves, right? And they are not very good at knowing that you are lying because you're a liar and they are a liar, and you both are just basically lying to each other. And you don't get to know what's a lie and what's the truth because you yourself are trying to just have this filter in front of you, and the other person has a filter in front of them, and no connection ever happens, dude. And those relationships don't really last that long. The relationships that are foundationally set on lies. Yeah, it's quite a trip, man. Like, I'm thinking about these things right now because this is Diwali time, and Diwali calls, like, for people who don't know, for the uninitiated, what people do in Diwali is that they clean up. Yeah, Diwali is meant for cleaning up, clean your house, clean your room. But I feel like this year, most importantly, a lot of us have to clean this gunk in our brains, dude. There's a lot of gunk in my brain. Yeah, I feel it. Like, I mean, I don't know who's out there who's super perfect, who has a perfect brain, and they feel like they have nothing to clean. Because if you've lived long enough on this earth, there's a good possibility that you've created these fluctuations in your mind that have sort of convinced you of things that are not true. There are these patterns that you fall back on. They're the same people that you fall back on. Those moments where you know you should have been doing something else, but you did something that was not right. And those things, like maybe you stole something. Have you guys ever stolen anything? I have. I have stolen shit, dude. I wouldn't call myself a kleptomaniac, but at the same time, I have stolen shit, man. And this is before the Yama and Niyama. I want to talk about this. I'm just trying to find the right article. Maybe I should do some better homework before I start these podcasts. But yeah, in Yama and Niyama of yoga, which kind of changed my life philosophy, it talks about non-stealing, asteya. You gotta not steal, dude. If you steal shit from people, or from anybody for that matter, a lot of people justify stealing by saying that they don't steal from their friends, but they steal from, say, a supermarket, or they steal from a market or some place, like, maybe some really fancy ass place. They'll just pick something up. A lot of people are into stealing crockery, dude. Like, they'll just take a silverware and put it in their purse and just take it home and not even give a fuck about it. Like, it's like nothing. Why should they care about the karma? But baby, does karma come back? Yeah. Stealing is not the best thing, dude. Stealing is one of those weird activities that humans sometimes indulge in because they want something, like a possession, like a thing. Dude, I mean, there's so much around us anyway that we don't really take care of, and then we want more things. Like, I remember I used to steal before I started, practicing Yama and Niyama. I used to steal these raw pressry juices. Yeah, dude. To steal raw pressry juices from the supermarket. I won't tell you which supermarket because I go there, so I don't want to be busted. But yeah, man, that was like a few years back, and I used to steal them in my jacket. I used to just put them inside my jacket. I had a denim jacket, so that had a concealed pocket. I used to put that shit inside my pocket, just roam around and drink that juice, stolen juice, bro. Yeah, and I used to feel like this really weird kick, it's like a pick you up sort of, like, damn, I stole some shit, dude. Like, it was almost like a rebellious kind of a feeling, stealing something. A rebellious, mixed with adrenaline, mixed with this feeling that, yes, I got something without paying for it. Like, I have something, but my money did not go to buy it. So that was quite a high, actually, But then you start to think about the kind of effect it has on your psyche, the kind of effect it starts to have on your brain, Start to think about how stealing, it might seem really trivial, especially if you don't get caught. If you get caught, bro, I'm not coming to visit you in the jail, bro. Yeah, man, that sucks. Imagine being caught shoplifting and going viral on social media. Like, yeah, dude. There's actually a TV show about this, like, people shoplifters TV show. Shoplifters TV show, yes. People like picking shit up. Yeah, it's on Shoplifters 2015 are at war with the law. Shoplifters strike 200 times every hour in Britain, stealing 2.2 billion pounds. Wow. So, dude, I'm not fucking alone here. Like, in Britain, people steal 2.2 billion worth of fucking goods. That's crazy. 200 times every hour. 200 times every hour. Are you fucking kidding me? That is so crazy. And it's on IMDb. It's a TV series. It's got an 8.5 on IMDb. That's pretty good. Yeah, but holy fuck. I mean, caught red-handed. Okay, so this is Shoplifters is the Britain version, and Caught Red-Handed is the US version. This is so crazy. So, yeah, I mean, 200 per hour, dude. People are picking up shit left, right, and center. What is it about shoplifting? There is some high. I mean, you don't have to be a complete kleptomaniac to still be a shoplifter. But every kleptomaniac is a shoplifter, I guess. But then there are people who steal from friends, dude. Have you guys had those friends who steal from you? Man, I've known some people who've stolen shit. Yeah. Like, I mean, like sometimes if you have friends over at your place, and quite often, if you have them quite often and some of your clothes are missing, you start to think like, yeah, maybe somebody picked it up or something. But then there are people who steal cameras, dude. They'll steal lenses, they'll steal like shoes, man. Like, some of them will pick up socks. But anyway, Caught Red-Handed is an American reality television series that portrays reenactments of shoplifting crimes. Damn, dude. 100 episodes. Yeah, so basically the point is that people do steal shit. Yeah, stealing, lying. We've already talked about two sins over here. It's Diwali. That's why we're talking about this, man. We have to really... The reason I'm doing this podcast alone is because I want to be able to think about these things really at depth. And each sentence that I'm saying today is not scripted. I mean, I am reading off of a laptop whenever I'm pulling something up, but mostly all of it is just through my brain, just reflecting on everything that has gone wrong and everything that needs to be fixed. Because without that, life is really tough. And at a time like Diwali, where my thoughts go out to the world and to myself, the world inside me, I think of so many improvements that need to be made. There is so much room for improvement. There is so much that needs to be done. Yeah, places to go, crackers to burn. Don't burst crackers, guys, please. I mean, I'm not anti-Hindu or sentiments. It's so weird when you have this debate with a friend and they say that, oh, it doesn't really matter, bro. You smoke cigarettes, dude. I don't smoke cigarettes, but like, people smoke cigarettes, bro. There's like so much happening in the world, man. There's like, coal industry is much bigger than the cracker industry, bro. And like, called the car emissions, you don't talk about that. It's like, man, if you got to take a fart, if there are like 10 people inside a room and there's one person who takes a fart, that's bearable, right? But what if all 10 of them take a fart together? We're all screwed. I mean, the point is that basically we need to like reduce our emissions as much as possible, because Delhi right now is a shithole. The air is so bad, man. The air is really pathetic. And this was not the case a few months back. Like, Delhi has seen some of the best air, the best skies, the best environmentally the best times we've had in a very long time, thanks to the lockdown. I mean, that's probably one of the only good things that have come out of this lockdown situation, where we were able to probably go back into the 1960s, dude, before all the cars came into Delhi. Yeah, like beautiful rad skies. Every day there was something different, like a nice characteristic going on. But like, ever since the farm season has begun and the parali is starting to burn, we have a grey overcast sky and it's smoky. And I was actually talking to a friend about this last night, and she was telling me how she was quarantining because she was tested positive for COVID, and her quarantine ended after her testing negative, and she came out of her house and she saw this grey cloud in front of her, and she couldn't. She's like, I went into depression like instantly. I was just like instantly depressed looking at the nature, and I mean, I don't want to call her a softie for being depressed because of the nature, because sometimes people are like, hey, like you're depressed about everything. Why should everything depress you? But if the air around you is screwed up, and you've grown up in that area, and it's a new phenomena, it's a half a decade old phenomena, this really crazy pollution that happens. So you'd probably think about all the good old times, man. Like it can seem very depressing having really bad air around, and then with the whole coronavirus situation being amped up, it's like a crazy combination of things right now, and I don't know what's happening to people's mental health. My own mental health is not in the perfect shape. And you know what? I don't think anyone's mental health can be in a perfect shape at any given point in time. That's what I believe. I'm not a professional. I'm a dummy. Don't listen to me. But I feel like life is so turbulent that our mental health cannot be perfect. There is no perfection in mental health. But at the same time, if the nature around you is screwed up, there is a very high possibility that you're going to spiral down into the grey, dark spaces of your mind. Yeah, so that's what we were talking about last night, about the pollution problem. So yeah, please don't burst crackers. Let's try. I mean, I don't know how many people will listen to this, but let's just try to make it better. Let's try and make it better. Okay, so my laptop battery is dead, but this was a nice, fun podcast, and I'm probably going to be doing these solo ones again. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what's on my mind. I wish every one of you a very, very happy Diwali and all those festivals that are coming in the future. Stay strong, especially if you're alone. Don't burst crackers. Eat some good food. Make some new friends, or maybe meet some of your older friends, or do something like, if you're alone, just enjoy being alone, man. I mean, honestly, we don't need people around us all the time. We don't. I mean, like, you could be in your room watching Netflix. You could be in your room, I don't know, doing whatever the fuck you want to do, dude. Like, yeah, just don't go in the dark arts. But signing out of the Nancoverse podcast, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great fucking time ahead.